Grab your coffee or tea and join me for an informal, cozy, personal curriculum chat. Hello, I'm Jen. Welcome back to my channel, Horror Literati, the space where academia and horror intersect. So, as I talked about, this is going to be very informal, very cozy chat about personal curriculum. So, I dipped my toe into the trend for spring of this year, and I want to talk about how I did. So, I'm just going to talk briefly about what I did or didn't do, as the case may be, in a couple of these courses. And if you want more information about my initial plans when I started, then I will be linking that video down in the description box below. And I will also link my midterm check-in. So let's just go right into the actual courses. I'm starting with Shakespeare's Hamlet the Ghost because I want to talk about why it did not work for me. And the first reason why is because, unlike the other two courses that I did in my spring personal curriculum, Shakespeare's Hamlet the Ghost was a course available online, already laid out with certain assignments. And my other two courses were self designed. So one of the reasons I know that the Shakespeare course didn't work for me is because someone else was telling me what to do and when. And I had enough of that when I was in grad school. So part of that was my rebellious streak, not wanting to be told what to do. But I don't consider it a failure because, first of all, I learned something about myself. And then, secondly, I did complete 3/4 of the assignments and learned some different ways to think about the ghost in Hamlet that I had never thought about before. So I won't get into all that here because I did talk about it in my mid-term check-in. So I will, as I mentioned previously, have that link down in the description box below. And another reason why I don't really consider this a failure is because I still have my Shakespeare book from grad school. So anytime I want to return to Shakespeare, I can. And next time I know I've got to do it on my own terms. So let's move on to course 2. Course 2 was the Gothic Anthropocene. I used this book as a spine, and this is Dark Scenes from Damaged Earth, the Gothic Anthropocene, which is edited by Justin D. Edwards, Rune Grawlin, and Johan Hugland. So I was supposed to read a certain number of essays each week. I read part of one essay. Some of my other assignments involved reading extra books, watching movies, and watching videos about the Eco-Gothic and the Gothic Anthropocene. My third course overtook really my entire spring. So that's why I really didn't get to everything I wanted to in the Gothic Anthropocene, but I am extending the Gothic Anthropocene into summer. So it is going to be my summer personal curriculum course. It is going to be my only personal curriculum course. And I will dive deeply into the Eco-Gothic then. And I will talk more about my plans for that whenever I do my preview for my summer personal curriculum video. So without further ado, let's head to the last course. And now we arrive at a deep dive into David Lynch. David Lynch took over my entire spring. I have described myself as having Lynch brain. He got in my head. I can't get him out of my head. I dream all kinds of crazy dreams. I cannot stop thinking about David Lynch. I definitely earned an A+ in this course and probably got like the Star Student Award. So I'm going to talk more about this course since it did work so well for me. So my objective for this course, and this is a repeat if you've watched my other videos, but I just want to talk about it again. My objective for my deep dive into David Lynch was to expand my knowledge of David Lynch's creative philosophy and explore his creations. So I used streaming services, books, YouTube, podcasts as my resources. My assignments and projects were to watch a selection of David Lynch's works, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, and I'm going to rank his movies that I watched. So hold on for that. Read The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer, which I did. I have the book right here, and possibly we'll be doing a major project on Laura at some point in the near future. Another assignment was to watch David Lynch interviews, which I watched so many interviews on YouTube. And then on the documentary, David Lynch, The Art Life, that was another assignment, and I completed that. Discuss David Lynch and his works with others. Ask anybody in my life, and they will tell you I was 100% successful with that. Create a journal spread inspired by David Lynch, which I have done, and I will show you also after I rank the movies I watched. And the rest of my assignments were to watch movies, to rewatch Twin Peaks seasons 1 and 2, and to watch The Return for the first time. So now let's go on into ranking David Lynch's movies. Before I rank the Lynch movies I watched for my spring personal curriculum, I want to talk about the works that I am not going to rank. I'm not going to be ranking Fire Walk with Me. It is a brilliant, gut-wrenching depiction of Laura's life leading up to the day of her death. It stands alone, and I just cannot rank it in this list. I'm also not going to be ranking Twin Peaks seasons 1 and 2 or The Return. Again, they stand on their own. So I did watch 6 additional movies, and those movies are Eraserhead, Wild at Heart, Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway, and Inland Empire. Those are the 6 movies that I am going to rank in this video. My ranking is controversial. I feel like there's going to be pushback on some of these. And if you have a different opinion than I do, please let me know in the comments, because then we can hash it out, right? And talk about David Lynch more and more. I'm not going to describe any of these movies in this video either. For time's sake, I'm just going to give you my rankings. However, as previously mentioned, if you want to talk more about any of these movies, please do so in the comments. Here we go. Also, one more thing before I rank the movies. I enjoyed every single one of these movies. There is not one that I watched that I was like, man, I didn't like that at all. So it's not that any of them are bad, in my opinion. I just have my favorites. And I'm a little nervous, like I said, because some of these are going to be controversial takes, I think. Okay, here we go. Number 6, Wild at Heart. Number 5, Eraserhead. Number 4, Mulholland Drive. Number 3, Blue Velvet. Number 2, Inland Empire. And number 1, Lost highway. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the way that I ranked these 6 Lynch movies. Finally, as promised, I'm going to share my David Lynch inspired journal spread. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have delved into the personal curriculum trend, and if so, what are you studying? Hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit that bell so we can talk about books, personal curriculum, David Lynch, all the things. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you may be, and happy reading.